Welcome to TS Diddle Reacts. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to get into some shadow ban TikToks. They're going to be deleted soon. Let's get into the video.
So the latest in this dystopian outrage that is now all of China apparently is I once again cannot buy food. A couple days ago my uncle and my cousin helped me get a cell phone that is linked to a Chinese bank card so that I could buy anything. But now apparently it has been flagged for some reason and I have to pass facial recognition identity verification, which is insane because all I want to do is just spend my gift card balance on this debit card. I can't believe I'm doing this. I have to open my mouth. Oh my god. Terrifying. And of course, because it was my cousin who set this up for me, I did not pass verification. I guess it's a good thing that the Chinese app is not racist. But now I once again can't buy anything.
As a parent, I want to admit publicly that I did not fully understand what the game Roblox was about. And I feel like a lot of parents do not know what is going on in that game. When you look up what the game is about, it's very general. A 3D digital experience. Did you know that you could make your characters get naked on there? Did you know that Roblox is an online platform where anybody can make a game and then it's in Roblox? Any game. There are games on Roblox where the sole purpose is to have... One of the games that's really popular is called Brookhaven. I have heard so many kids at the park. Do you play Brookhaven? Do you play Brookhaven? Yeah, Brookhaven is one of the games where your character can get completely naked and perform lewd acts. Because the platform allows anybody to create whatever game they want, there are so many crazy, inappropriate games on this app. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I genuinely think a lot of parents did not know how bad this game is.
All the chosen ones are unemployed right now. And it's a good thing because we are in the Matrix era. The Matrix has control. They have the advantage right now. When the New Earth prophecy is fulfilled, all the people who are at the very bottom of the world are going to be at the very top. When one side rises, the other side falls. That's just how it's meant to be. So if you're unemployed right now, it's a good thing. Having a job right now doesn't help you in the long run. In fact, it's a waste of time. Yes, you get to make some income and you get to have some financial freedom. But the freedom you have is in the Matrix, and it's only going to be temporary. It's not going to help you in the long run. What helps you in the long run is raising your frequency, raising your vibration, showing up, doing the work, being a light worker, being a shadow worker, healing, speaking truth. All of that helps you in the long run. It helps you when the new earth manifests. So if you don't have a job, just keep going. Focus on yourself. You don't want to have a job right now. It's the Matrix era. Namaste.
Okay, pause. I just so happen to be one of those who doesn't have a job right now. And I have been taking this time to focus on me and my mental. It's a very, very, very long mental health year it's been like maybe 9 months that I have not had employment. But what I did learn, and I think I've learned in the past, but it's really sinking in right now, is that when you work for someone else, they have the ability to snatch your livelihood away from you at any given moment. If the wind blows wrong and you just so happen to be in their target, it could be you. So I don't think anybody is safe. And the way that our powers that be operate, we're all going to find out what it's like to live in this dystopian atmosphere. The first video where the lady was saying she can't even buy food. She can't use a gift card to spend on herself. She did not pass the verification to show that she's a human by opening her mouth and blinking her eyes and turning her head from side to side. So she goes to the store and she comes back empty-handed, even though she has a card that has money on it to spend. What does that mean? They have the power to turn it on and off for you personally. That's crazy. While they're somewhere eating mermaids or some crap. You have to watch reaction videos to know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But with that being said, so there's a shift going on, and we are in the Matrix. And those who don't know that we're in the Matrix, they're going to find out. And that Roblox thing, it started off as a game for kids, and now anybody can play. And they're putting things out there that our children should not be seeing, and our children are having dialogue with themselves. Have you seen such and such? What she called blocks or something? Have you seen it? Have you seen it? They know what they're talking about, and they know that the parents don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's kind of weird. And why would adults want to corrupt a child's mind with images that they have no business seeing? There's some sickos out there. Sickos who don't want us to eat or provide for ourselves. Sickos who put very vulgar things in the viewpoint of children so that the children can become nasty people. It's a lot. It's a lot. Let's get back to the video.
Andy?
This looks like the official van of Stranger Danger.
No way.
What kind of candy do you think they're giving out on that thing?
For real. Nah. Shh. Shut up!
Candy.
How is this van allowed to ride around like that? And why is it always a white van? Remember? Remember? No thanks. I don't want no candy. Ain't nobody going inside there. Throw it out the window. Halloween is coming, guys. So, I don't know about this candy. All I do know is that y'all better be careful. Because why go to the store and buy candy if you could just wait for a white van to ride by with a free candy sign? It looks like they spray painted it on. They didn't even do it professionally. We should probably follow these vans to get some free candy. Right? Let's see what type of candy they're giving away for free. Want some candy? Nah, I don't eat candy. Why is it always a white van though? Nah, I'm just playing about guys. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It's just a van driving around giving out free candy. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. You want some free candy? I'm out.
Have you ever heard of?
And remember, your parents always said, don't take candy from strangers. It means something. So you have a white van that's just traveling around handing out candy. You know kids are going to be the first ones in line. And it says candy on the inside. So what does that mean? Have to get inside to get the candy. And what if the van takes off? You know, you took some candy from strangers. I don't remember the last time I said that to my kids. Now my kids are grown now, but I don't remember saying it. You know, I think we got a lot more to worry about now than we did back then when life seemed just a little bit more innocent than it does right now. And 20, 30 years ago, it was more innocent then. Whew, let's keep going.
Water cremation? It's the scariest process.
Is it literally like jet-powered water, like piercing through your body?
I would assume,
Literally,
but
it's like getting pressure washed.
I watched this whole video yesterday, and she's like presenting like a sales pitch, and it's like water cremation. Basically, your body would take years to decompose in the ground. We can do it in 4 to 5 hours, and there's just this giant metal tank, and they just put the body in there. And she's like, and it's sanitary. I'm like, who cares about that? You're dead. It looks like a cylinder kind of thing, like a giant washing machine almost.
It's like a rock tumbler.
Yeah.
No, literally.
But then
Oh my goodness!
They open it and it's just your bones.
They literally
dude.
like pressure wash you off of your bone.
It's a pressure cooker. That's what it
Yeah, because
is.
it's probably heating up
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
yeah.
Oh man,
And
the
they say-
smell.
They take your bones and then they grind them up to where that gets placed in an urn. And she's like, and it's different. Our water cremation, you're left with a really nice white dust.
Pure white bones.
So wait, so they're giving you only the bones back?
Yeah, grounded up bones.
I don't understand that. Like, what's the essence of taking the person with you? Like, all all of them, or just the bones is what you keep?
Death doesn't scare me. It's the way of being buried or not cremated, or I don't know.
It's Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, 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 with silver buttons, 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 all down her back, back, back. I know y'all remember that shit. I know how many childhood rhymes we have sang so innocently. When you really look at them with fresh eyes, they hit a lot different. This one is definitely one of them ones. I'm gonna also break down a few more for y'all. We gotta start with this one, because I used to think this was talking about military, especially talking about the buttons down her back, because who else was wearing that? And I came across one story, and I'm holding on to it, because it sounds legit. Now, like I said, for most of us, this chant was like a fun childhood clapping game for us. Did you know it might have roots in a deeper, darker, real-life story? Story goes, in a quiet southern town, there was a woman named Big Mary. There she go right there. She became the heart of a haunting legend. She was supposedly abandoned as a child and later found refuge in the church, which... go figure. She later started working as a caretaker for the town's graveyard. Now, the thing about Big Mary's ass, she was strong enough to lift the caskets on her own. She ain't need no help. Giving real Respucia vibe. Well, as you can imagine, she was earning both awe and fear from the children. They didn't know what to think. The children used to tease her with this song. Sad for them, all hell broke loose. Let's just say that was the last song that they sang. Fast forward to when we started singing it. It said that we were chanting her, and whenever she appeared on that third chant, we would show up and prepare whoever was chanting for her for burial. That shit just took a wild turn, because what? The thing about it, that was just one of many. I mean, think about it. We was singing Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Posies, Ashes, Ashes. We all fall down. And then that's when I learned that one was rooted in the Black Plague. Had us chanting about death, disease, and ashes. See, I done told y'all, they love us talking about death when we talk about mourning, wake. So of our language is around death. That chant was no different. And as children, we holding hands in a circle.
So do you remember that time, like a couple days ago, when I said if you're not on Twitter, you should be? Let me show you yet another reason why. Capital Hunters just posted a massive thread that started with, someone has to say it, Elon Musk has lied for 27 years about his credentials. He does not have a BS in physics or any technical field. Did not get into a PhD program, dropped out in 1995 and was illegal. Later, investors quietly arranged a diploma, but not in science. There are receipts. There's a BS in economics, and that's just the first tweet. There was a ton of other stuff there, and I found it interesting that midway through the deluge of information, they tweeted at Twitter Safety, if anyone's left, this thread describes public evidence about a public figure. It is not a violation. It's citizen journalism. Also remember the Streisand effect. Suspending this account would make the story go bigger. I would go public. It would be news. So yeah, if you're on Twitter...
I just want to say real quick, he has a BS in BS. Elon Musk has a BS in BS. Take that to the moon.
Oh, fuck no. Y'all gonna have to see this clip. This shit wild as fuck, fool. Make sure you like and share. Trump top advisor named Stephen Miller was on CNN talking about the National Guard situation. And he was talking real confident, y'all. Real calm. When he said some wild shit. This man said that Trump has plenary authority. That basically means he has complete and absolute power and control. And once he said that shit, y'all, he knew he fucked up. He like, damn. This man froze, y'all. He tried to play the mannequin challenge, but he was still blinking. Y'all, look at this shit.
Insurrection. Does the administration still plan to abide by that ruling? Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority. Stephen? Stephen?
What'd you say?
Hey, Stephen, can you hear me?
He froze.
Stephen, I apologize. It seems like we're having a technical issue.
Nah, that wasn't no technical issue. Fool just know he said some crazy shit. He exposed it, y'all. The truth is out the bag. Y'all heard it for yourself. That's why he fucking froze like that man was stuck in the Matrix. Every time somebody of power say some shit out their mouth like this, it's always one or two things. They either get cut off the air or they start glitching like him. This man real life said plenary authority. That's not just a fancy word, y'all. That means no checks, there's no limit, and full control. That's the kind of phrase you only hear from a dictatorship, y'all. And after that silence, nobody brought it up again. Nobody even talked about it. Y'all let me know, was that a glitch or was that a warning? Because one thing for sure, y'all, after he froze, after he said what he said, that looked like that man was just like, damn, I said too much.
America, they're lying to you, and the proof is in that one yellow cup. That's right, Fox. Propaganda, Mike Johnson, the entire right-wing propaganda machine shut down the government over this one plastic cup. Not a program, not a national crisis, a cup. Because when you can't lead, you distract. This entire pyramid right here on the bottom is the entire Medicaid budget. And the yellow cup at the bottom is the only time, potentially, that an undocumented immigrant may get health care or care. And it's in an emergency. It's the mathematical equivalent of 0.004 of the budget. But Mike Johnson will make you think like it's the end of civilization. And that is not governing, that is gaslighting. Propaganda 101, you take a teaspoon of truth and you turn it into a tidal wave of fear. Straight out of the playbook of Karl Rove, but without the subtlety. And here's the kicker. We can never eliminate that yellow cup, ever. We can keep the government shut down forever. It's not a liberal giveaway giving undocumented immigrants health care. If someone's bleeding out in the ER, you treat them, period. It's not policy, it's humanity. And apparently, compassion doesn't play well over at Fox because they want you to think that they're giving free health care to undocumented immigrants. But now let's take a look at the top pyramid. That shows you the $100 billion paid in by undocumented immigrants annually. Props up Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and so on. Benefits that they will never use because they don't qualify for. It's the entire state of Ohio, what they pay into the system. Can you imagine telling everyone in Ohio, sorry, you're not invited to the party? Even if I took away this little yellow cup and what it cost, those orange cups, I still have $97 billion of net positive money coming into the U.S. Treasury. So this is not a budget problem. We're making more money. It's not a problem with the law. They shut down the government to distract you. They shut the government down over this because, not because they care about spending, but because they need you looking at that cup. They don't want you looking at the scoreboard. They don't want you talking about the Epstein files, sluggish job growth, shrinking GDP, and the widening trade deficit that the tariffs were supposed to fix, but it went in the opposite direction. This is not budgeting. It's a magic trick of politics. Don't look over here, look over here. Mike Johnson and his propaganda friends over at Fox are basically saying, hey, if I can scare you with this yellow cup, maybe you won't notice that I don't have any solutions or a plan. The next time that you see this on Fox, recognize that this is propaganda. We cannot keep falling for this over and over again, America. The proof is in the pudding. Cups talk, bullshit walks. I hope you learned something. I'm always rooting for you.
Your house might be making you sick and you don't even know it. And you want to know why? Mold. Here are 5 facts you need to know about mold so you can stay safe. Mold hides where you can't see it, like your air vents. And breathing in all that mold can trigger allergy, breathing problems, and a whole host of other health problems. It's bad. Now, mold spreads fast. If it's in your vents, it's all over your house. And listen, cleaning your counters won't fix it. The air is what carries it. And the only way to find it is to test for it. That's why I ordered this Clean Vent Test Kit, because it's going to allow me to test my vents and know if whether or not I got mold in here. So check your vents today, because the sooner you check your vents, the sooner you can know if you're dealing with mold.
You can already take. Just a personal note. I think I might have a mold problem in my basement. When I go downstairs, there's like a different scent, and it's really disturbing. I think it's coming from my upstairs bathroom inside the walls. And I know something's going on because the tiles are literally falling off the walls. Ugh. We've been here 20 plus years and we have not done a lot of renovations. It's really upsetting. But there's something going on, and I'm pretty sure it's deep in the wall and it's going down straight to the bathroom that's underneath the upstairs bathroom, and it's terrible. We have allergies, asthma, we get real freaky colds. And then I know there's another probably mold issue in my storage room, which is under the kitchen. And it's also the wall that's at the base of the patio concrete. So maybe there's something seeping through there. It's upsetting and it's expensive. And another quick story, I went to my mom's apartment recently, and as I walked in, I smelled this like water smell. And I remember it from decades ago at my grandparents' house. And I was like, something smells funny. And I went over to her dishwasher and I sniffed in there, and I was like, no. I looked under the sink and I sniffed in there and I said, no. So she said, well, maybe it's the washing machine backed up or whatever. So I decided to go and investigate. My mom's of a certain age, and going up and down the basement stairs is not, something that she'll do quite often. She'll do it on laundry day, but that's all. So I went downstairs, and immediately the entire wall was covered in mold. It wasn't there the last week when she had gone downstairs to wash. So we figured out that the apartment next door that is recently vacant, they must have left the water on. The entire wall, from one end to the other end, from the bottom to the top, black squishy stuff. It was terrible. So she called her leasing people to come and fix it. But yeah, how quickly it spreads. And she had no idea. She couldn't tell, the difference, because she's in there all the time. So she didn't notice anything change. But I, walked in and I'm like, something's not right. So yeah, keep, check on your pipes. And I know I got a long line of work ahead of me, because I got to get probably the entire basement. We need to do something. It's gross. All right, back to the video.
Hell, that's the colorful side, because they got the Hebrew Israelites with their little tent out. They can't post up on this side, because this Israelite repellent. Most unpopular St. Louis American, a.k.a. Brother Historical Oracle. We standing in the middle of Delmar Boulevard. This is the boldest red line probably in the country. We're going to make a left 1 block over this way, and we're going to make a right 1 block over this way. Look at it, just beautiful.
Two
Starbucks down there, Tesla trucks, no temp tag, got concrete lions all in the front. House look like Home Alone. Look like where the Cosby family stayed at. Now we finna go 1 block over. Already the Family Dollar on this side. We ain't even that far down the street. A whole lot missing the house. This is where the area where the tornado happened. Now if that house was on that side, they either would tear it down or it'd be getting worked on right now. You saw that big machine on that other street. They got hit by the tornado too. Another house with an open concept.
Digital ID in China should serve as a warning for all of us here in the West. This summer, Beijing rolled out a mandatory digital ID. On paper, it looks neat and tidy. One app for all of your passwords, less data floating around private companies, and one login for all your apps. But the reality is very different.
When Leo Hu recently tried to book a flight, he was told he was banned from flying because he's on the list of untrustworthy people. Leo was a journalist who was ordered by a court to apologize for a series of tweets he wrote, and was then told his apology was insincere. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel you're being controlled by the list all the time. And the list is now getting longer, as every Chinese citizen is being assigned a social credit score, a fluctuating rating based on a range of behaviors. It's believed that community service and buying Chinese-made products can raise your score. Fraud, tax evasion, and smoking in non-smoking areas can drop it. China's growing network of surveillance cameras makes all of this possible.
It can recognize more than 4,000 vehicles.
Xu Li is the CEO of SenseTime, one of China's most successful artificial intelligence companies. It has created smart cameras for the government that can help catch criminals, but also track average citizens.
You can tell whether it is an adult, a child, a male or female.
Ken Dwoskin has studied China's economic and political culture for more than 3 decades. He says how the new scoring system truly works is kept secret and could be easily abused by the government.
Every Chinese citizen must tie their national identity card to their new digital ID. This includes their phone number and even their facial recognition. That means every post, every purchase, every click online is traced back to one individual. It erases online anonymity and chills free speech. There have been cases where citizens' identity has been flagged because of one hateful comment online. But here's the catch. As soon as you're flagged, you are then restricted. They are being silenced online, cut off from shopping, banking, and even basic communication. Imagine being cut off from society with just a flick of a government switch. The Chinese government has said this is about safety and efficiency. Where have we heard that before? I suggest we watch China more closely because similar conversations are happening here, right in Britain. But it is made very clear, once the government control your online identity, they control your freedom.
Okay, I did recently lose my job. I'm going to compare that situation to what's happening over in China. What I realized when I lost my main source of income was that I wasn't able to, I realized that my entire life was connected to apps. I didn't know how many apps I was paying for because I always had money to pay for it and it was coming out automatically. But once things start shutting down because they weren't being paid because there wasn't a steady source of income in my bank accounts, it was astonishing to me the difference in my daily lifestyle. I mean, I was cut off from so many things. I was cut off from my own personal business websites, and I had multiples for different features of what I do. I was cut off from Prime Video. I was cut off from Google, my email accounts. I was cut off from the simplest things to more important things that I needed to function. And it feels like that, which once we take on whatever this digital ID thing, they're saying they can just shut you down and you won't even be able to buy food if you have money to buy food. Are they going to cut you off from your own money? Your social credit score will prevent you from traveling. What if you're just going over to the next state? You're not able to get on an airplane because you were smoking in a non-smoking area. What kind of sense does that make other than complete control over the average citizen's life? If I make you angry, whoever you are, you might be the criminal. You're going to destroy me because we have a difference of opinion on any given subject. That doesn't sound fair. It doesn't. There's no words for what it sounds like. Where are we headed, guys? Tell me, what do you think is going on in the comments? Let's get back into the video.
Everywhere she goes, Ouyang Haoyu is followed. What she buys, how she behaves, is tracked and scored to show how responsible and trustworthy she is. It's called the social credit system, and in one version now being tested, a person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And Haoyu, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens. Thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think the lot of camera keep the safety is really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Like the man who carried a drunk person home. A good deed, she says. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse. Huang Huijun lost a court case and didn't pay. Now he's on a government blacklist. I can't buy airplane or train tickets, he says, and the list goes on. Being discredited makes it hard to get a job or put kids in top schools. The social credit system will go nationwide next year, and few here are willing to criticize it. Something that may pose a risk itself for a bad score and the life that comes with it. Janice Mackey-Frere, NBC News, Beijing.
So in China, for example, God, this is going to happen here, I think, too. Although maybe people will fight it. If a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, the digital ID system has you. It has your blood now. It has your genetic code. It has your photograph. It can identify how you walk. So even if you can't see a face, you can be picked up by gait. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, then you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. All that's already in place in China.
I got into the Book of Enoch, which is an ancient religious book that was at one point in time included in the canon that was like the Bible and everything like that, but then they decided it was too crazy. There's no debate about whether or not it was actually a religious text that coincided with the Bible, and it appears in the Dead Sea Scrolls. It is the craziest shit. And I'm getting AI, I go, tell me what the nuttiest stuff.
What did it say?
God's coming down and mating with women and creating this race called the Nephilim, who destroy. Here, I'll ask it again. Tell me the craziest shit in the Book of Enoch. The Watchers and the Nephilim. The Watchers descended to earth on Mount Hermon. They take human wives, teaching humanity forbidden knowledge, sorcery, astrology, metalworking, weapons, cosmetics, and enchantments. Enchantments. This is like older than the New Testament, older than the Old Testament. Their giant children, the Nephilim, are described as monstrous beings who devour humans, animals, and even each other when food runs out. That sounds like us.
This rapper says he actually met the devil. Watch this.
You had an encounter with the devil? Yeah, I got booked for a photo shoot. They took me all the way up this mountain. I was on top of the mountain. We finished the photo shoot. They have OD cars. They got a 3-seater McLaren. They got a Ferrari. And I'm asking them, like, how y'all get all this money? And like, we do demonic rituals. I'm laughing. No, you don't, bro. I'm like, how you get this money? Don't put me on. I'm trying to get like y'all. Like, no, we do demonic ritual. I say, so what type of demonic ritual? He say, the Illuminati never talked to you. I'm laughing. I'm still laughing at him. Like, bro, you playing a game. Like, bro, no, for real. Leonardo DiCaprio do all the initiation. I'm like, what? I'm like, who is that? What is you talking about, gang? Keep it PG-13. He was basically saying, either you let him pay you or you do oral and you'll get whatever you want. If you want to be the next big actress, next big whoever, I can take you to somebody. And all you got to do is just do what they want to do to you. Just for a night. Do some gay, basically do some gay. They doing all this, I'm trying to call my Uber. We on top of the mountain though. I don't got no service. The people who booked me left. After they leave, I'm in the car with the other dude that they called to have a photo shoot with me. I get in the car with him in a 3-seater McLaren. On the way up, we go all the way up, like in the swivel, like all the way around the mountain. Yeah. On the way down, we take a right. So he not going the same way that we came up. So then when I tried, I'm like, take me to go get some McDonald's, gang. He said, we not gonna take you get no McDonald's. We spent all this money to get you up here. This face change, gang. In front of me, you see Venom.
His face changes, yo.
Yeah, like Spider-Man. Yeah, from Spider-Man. Kind of like that. Probably about this wide. Face change. I'm like, what the? Like, it's probably about like right here. I see somebody morph into something. Yeah, it's like that. It threw me all the way off. We in the 3-seater McLaren, so it's like a button you gotta push to get up out of there. Gotcha. He smack on mailbox. So now he hit the button and he get up out of there. He hit the button and get up out of there. I see the button. I'm getting up out of there too. I hit the button. You know what? It's a mailman come out of nowhere. I slap run up to him. I'm like, hey, bro, let me get in back your truck. He leaned at me like, well, yeah, no. I look at him. I'm like, bro, just let me get in back your truck. I'm like, please just take me down. Take me down to the bottom. Please just take me down to the bottom. Yo, God, he took me down to the bottom. Like, people on camera, you ain't gotta believe me. I don't care. I really saw this. I believe it. And it made me. That's what made me know that the devil and God was real.
Pink lenses cause tumors in the eyes. This is wild too, because in the book Health and Light, he talked about how they used to take prisoners and they would put them in pink walls. Okay? They would put them in pink walls and they noticed it would calm them down for about 15 minutes and then they would go completely mad. And they would try to beat people up and try to just completely fight everybody they could. This is the power of color. What people don't realize, when you have all these artificial LEDs and fake lights in your house and all this other stuff, they are messing with your mind. This is why people can't focus. They can't remember things. They have brain fog. You go into the hardware store, they can't even remember what aisle they're in. It's the lights. It's the color spectrum coming from these lights. So Health and Light is a phenomenal book for people to look into because you start to understand the spectrums of light and how they mess with your minds. That's what's going on. Someone said, will you talk about Cloudbusters and how to make and use? So if you want to learn about Cloudbusters, you can head over to my buddy Mitch the Orgone donors page, and you can look up his downloads, and he has a whole bunch of downloads on how to.
This is a warning to any parents or anyone that sees this video. Look out for this product that can be bought at your local gas stations. There is a product out there right now called Feel Free that has apparently been out for years, but all of a sudden people have started to go crazy over buying this drink. This guy right here made a video on TikTok telling how he had kids waiting outside of a 7-Eleven just to get him to buy Feel Free for them, and when he refused, they tried to rob him so they could go buy this drink. He said the person working the cash register even said they have people come in and buy up to 9 a day. And he was confused because it looked like it was just a 5-hour energy drink, but apparently it is something way worse than that. So it's marketed to help give you energy, focus, and lift your mood, but apparently it does some things that make you become reliant on it. Now there's only 3 ingredients in this drink: iron, kava root, and leaf keratin. Now, keratin does this stuff to you, the opioid receptors in your brain, so like pain relief, euphoria, sedation, making you reliant on this. And it also does this where it can increase your heart rate, blood pressure, and anxiety. This is not a good thing to be taking. And like that person at the cash register said, they have up to 9 a day being bought by one person. This right here even says do not exceed 1 bottle alone in 24 hours. Now this has become so popular and it's only allowed to be sold to people over the age of 21, but apparently a lot of kids are trying to buy this right now. So if you are a parent or anyone and you see a kid trying to get this little blue bottle at a local gas station, be careful.
Now, I saw that they are promoting it on Amazon. So that's making it real easy to get. I've seen that it's very addictive, so be careful. I'm not going to try it. If I drink a 5-hour energy drink, I'm up for 36 hours. I don't need to be jittery or anything else. So yeah, I don't want to be addicted to anything. No. So be careful. Be careful.
They changed their name. Their original name used to be Bauer. So what they do is they change their name so that they can blend in with the system. And the Canaanites, who had the curse for 2,000 years, they would also change their names for 2,000 years. And we know who those people are. Well, let me give you a quote by the Rothschild. If I own the money system, I don't care who writes the laws. So every single money, across the world, owned by the Rothschilds. All the banks, Rothschild. Every single Rothschild. Medical system, agricultural system, educational system, energy system, Rothschild. So how do the Rothschilds influence the world? Well, they own everything. And that's when you get into the book Secrets of the Federal Reserve by Eustace Mullen. And what the Rothschilds did was after they owned a lot of the things in Europe, they actually moved to America by paying the Rockefellers so that the Rockefellers could then control America. So when you date it back to the Rothschilds. Now, if you want to date it back even farther, you go to the Oppenheimer. If you want to date it back even farther after the Oppenheimer, you go to the Canaanites. The Canaanites. If you want to look up that word, you can look up the Canaanites. Or you can look up the Charzars, because there's this interesting world called Khazaria, but it's actually Chazaria. So Charzar. They changed the words because what these people do, like the Rothschilds.
Yo! There's digital price tags now at the grocery stores. Remember how they used to put the tags where the food is? 1 by 1? Now it's digital, guys. You know what that means? That means that it can change the price at any time. And that means that's ready to line up with the digital. Shut up! Don't you get it? It's happening little by little. Little by little.
Very quick.
Things are becoming digital. We're getting closer to the time where you're not going to be able to get what you need to survive without that digital. You know what I mean? Go look it up for yourself. Go check out the stores when you go food shopping again. The tags can be changed within a split second. Just like that. It could go from $6 to $4. Or it could go to, you can't get this food without the digital to go along with it. Get ready. Get ready. You know what's to come. Alright? The winter's almost here. Stock up. Stock up. Stock up, guys. This video is for entertainment purpose only. I'm just playing around. Nothing's gonna happen. Guys, they're calling me right now. I gotta go. I'm out.
Now, if you think it's an accident that a shutdown of the government is being talked about at the same time that over 800, that's the count, 800 top generals and military and admirals and military leadership have been summoned to the Pentagon tomorrow for a meeting. And they told the world that they were doing this. See, this isn't like a secret. They told people that they're doing it, and it could have been done on teleconference. Why? They're calling the generals home. You need to know why. They're calling them home because they're preparing for something to happen at home. That's what I'm saying. Keep your eye on the ball. All right, so that's...
I haven't had a good night of sleep since ChatGPT launched.
What do you worry about?
All the things we're talking about.
It need to be a lot more specific.
I mean, you hit on maybe the hardest one already, which is there are 15,000 people a week that commit suicide, about 10% of the world talking to ChatGPT. That's like 1,500 people a week that are talking, assuming this is right, that are talking to ChatGPT and still committing suicide at the end of it. They probably talked about it. We probably didn't save their lives. Maybe we could have said something better. Maybe we could have been more proactive. Maybe we could have provided a little bit better advice about, hey, you need to get this help, or, you know, you need to think about this problem differently, or it really is worth continuing to go on, or we'll help you find somebody that you can talk to.
Well, you already said it's okay for the machine to steer people toward suicide if they're terminally ill.
Do you not think there's a difference between a depressed teenager and a terminally ill, like miserable 85-year-old with cancer?
Massive difference. Countries that have legalized suicide are now killing people for destitution, inadequate housing, depression, solvable problems. I mean, that's a real thing. It's happening as we speak. So the terminally ill thing is not, it's kind of like a irrelevant debate. Once you say it's okay to kill yourself, then you're going to have tons of people killing themselves for reasons that...
Because I'm trying to think about this in real time, do you think if...
Okay, ChatGPT assist you in unaliving yourself. ChatGPT, this man, I guess he's the creator of ChatGPT. Saying it, I can't say it fast. It sounds like he's feeding the information to the system. I thought the system, AI, was supposed to be like super intelligent and it thinks ahead of us. So how does it sound like they're feeding the information to ChatGPT to tell us so they can feed it any rhetoric they want to get us to rely on it and follow their script? Does that make sense? Well, tell me what you think in the comments. But he can't sleep at night because he thinks he knows he's doing something wrong. Doesn't that make sense? Because the other stuff doesn't make sense. But it makes sense that he's feeling a certain kind of way because he's doing something to destroy mankind. There you go. There you go.
If your right to bear arms is absolute, why is it that every state has an age-in qualifier? For example, you have freedom of speech. That freedom of speech is absolute, but there's regulations statutorily. If you misuse it, if you engage in criminal activity, or if you utilize it to maliciously lie on someone else, the government can penalize you. Your freedom of speech is a right. That freedom has common sense responsibility. Guns, once again, your right to bear arms, codified in the Constitution. But with right comes responsibility. Nobody calls the responsibility to not utilize your speech criminally speech control. So why would we call it gun control?
Why hasn't anyone else noticed these hanging heads on the U.S. $20 bill?
A $20 bill. You're gonna let me zoom in. And they were saying it looked like somebody hanging. But if you look up here at the pillars.
If you smoke bud, you need to hear this. They're saying that small traces of fentanyl has been found in marijuana in 10 different states. Now, we all know the effects of fentanyl, and we know what the smallest amount of fentanyl could do. So my advice to you is, if you are using marijuana, if you are smoking bud, you need to find out what's going on with it. And they're saying that this fentanyl that has been detected in it has been sprayed on it. So what I'm saying to you is, again, there are ways that you can find out if your marijuana has fentanyl in it. I do not smoke marijuana. I do not smoke marijuana. Let me say that again. I do not smoke marijuana. But if you smoke, and if you choose to smoke, you need to know what's going on. Be mindful where you're getting your bud from. Not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I knew that when they started putting all these places, these pop-up weed shops and things of that nature, it was going to be some shit like this. And not to say that they're targeting people, but listen, they can be targeting people. And they know if you have a vice, an addiction,
There was an interview a while back with a child predator named Jack Reynolds. He was asked what characteristics he looked for in a child. He said more than the characteristics of the child, he looked at the family. And if there was a strong father who posed a threat, he stayed away. So for those of us who are fathers, this tells us at least three things. One is you better be a threat. Can you fight? You better be able to do something. If you can't, in the moment where someone you care about needs you, you will never forgive yourself, and maybe you shouldn't. Now, the second point to this is you better be present, because having the capacity and the capability to do what you need doesn't mean a great deal if you aren't around when you're needed. Now, there's one more point here. There's been an ongoing debate about this concept of toxic masculinity. If you are the sort of man who is so afraid of hurting the feelings of someone who believes it's their place to talk to other people's children about things that it is not their place to do, then you're probably not the father this predator was talking about.
Big facts. You know, it's funny because I had that thing playing on my desk on repeat. I was doing other stuff and that thing was playing on repeat. And that couldn't have been there's nothing that could be realer than what that man said. I mean, you have to be cautious as a man to be standing up for your children and being an example that you want to project out to the world, because men who are in the family, who are strong, who are connected, who have the hearts of their children, they are more than likely not going to be taken advantage of by these predators. It's normally the men who are feckless, worry about their own life, not engaged with their children, weak men, soft men, cowardice men, men who lack morals, men who lack courageous behavior. All of those things will lead your kids to a negative place. So boss up. Go to the next video.
$300.03. You mean to tell me your life story is worth $300.03? Y'all could never play Aubrey O'Day. She made it very fucking clear that she was never signing her rights over, ever. Diddy said, y'all, I'm giving everybody's publishing rights back. Y'all should be excited. Excited my ass. See, Diddy thought he was slick. He was like, I'm gonna give y'all your publishing rights, but this is what you gotta do. You gotta sign away the rights to ever speak about me or my company. You can never open your mouth about anything I've ever done to you. So writing a book will never happen. Making a movie will never happen. Speaking on me in speaking engagements or on the radio or on podcasts will never happen. Diddy knew what the fuck he was doing when he did that shit. And Aubrey, like the gangster she is, said, bitch, you got me fucked up. I ain't signing that shit. Aubrey has never changed her story about Diddy, not one day. She has been talking about this man since she was fired from Danny DeCane. She has always said Diddy was foul. Diddy did backhanded deals. That Diddy tried to pass them off to men in the industry, tried to make them pretty and put them in different places, in different rooms with different men.
My asthma. They said they'd fix it, but it didn't make any difference at all.
You using your inhaler?
All the time. Go through one a week.
You sure you're using it right?
Do I look like an idiot?
No. Why don't you show me how your inhaler works?
But that's the end of the video. Thank you for joining TS Ditto Reacts. Please come back for the future videos. Hit that like, subscribe, and notifications button. And please, 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 don't forget me now. Bye.